Welcome back to Ray's CRE Broker. I'm Ray Kang, a shopping center broker in Texas, and this is your guide to smarter, more strategic retail property ownership. Today, we're talking about something I think is massively overlooked in this business. Great tenants aren't just found, they're built. Let me start with this. Yes, tenant selection is important. And yes, a good broker should help you qualify the right use, right financials, and the right operator. But after the lease is signed, that's where the real work begins. Here's what I've seen. Owners often think of leasing as a transaction. Get the deal done, collect rent, move on. But the owners who protect and grow value over time, they think of leasing as the beginning of a business relationship, not just a rental agreement. I had a landlord client once who took a chance on a family-run restaurant in his center. Instead of just signing the lease and walking away, he helped them coordinate the correct signage, did a grand opening push on his social media, introduced them to two nearby office tenants who became regular customers there. Since then, that tenant renewed twice, has always been paying rent on time, and expanded into a second location with this landlord a few years later. Was it, say, a perfect national credit tenant on day one? Absolutely not, but it turned into a reliable, profitable, long-term relationship. Great tenants aren't found. They're developed through communication, support, and shared success. Why does this matter to you, the owner? Because tenant stability equals income stability equals valuation stability. When tenants stay longer, pay on time, and grow within your center, you reduce turnover risk. You avoid costly build-out gaps, and your cash flow becomes more predictable. Quick math. Losing one 1,200 square foot tenant at, say, $25 per square foot can mean a $30,000 gap in annual income. Now, add downtime, leasing commissions, TI, you could be out $50,000 plus before you see cash flow again. The strongest portfolios I've seen, well-maintained centers with involved owners that have strong tenant relationships. They don't just fill space, they cultivate it. Every time a tenant turns over, it's not just a leasing problem, it's a 5-figure cash flow problem. So how do you build better tenants? Here's what I recommend and what I've seen work. Stay connected after the lease starts. A quick check-in at 90 days, then again at 6 months. You should be asking, how's traffic? Any issues with the space? How's business going? You'd be surprised what comes up and how early you can solve small problems before they turn into big ones. Think about partnering on marketing. Now, you don't need to run their business, but sharing a post or showing up for a soft opening or telling your friends about this new restaurant, including them on a center-wide promotion, that small effort can go a long way. Also, how about giving them a path to grow? If a tenant performs well, would you offer them first look at a neighboring space or expansion? Would you renew early with favorable terms? That kind of flexibility helps them plan, and it signals you see them as a partner, not just a rent check. The best owners don't just collect rent. They cultivate relationships, and that's where real value is built. Now, this doesn't mean you bend over backwards for every tenant. I'm not suggesting you give free rent or accept subpar performance, but I am suggesting that if you want stability and long-term performance, you need to be present and proactive. The tenants who succeed make your property easier to lease, easier to sell, and easier to finance. So here are some things you should be taking away and thinking about. Which of your tenants are thriving right now? Who might be struggling, and have you checked in on them recently? Is there one thing you could do to support a good tenant success? You don't need to run their business, but when they win, you win. I hope you got something out of the video today, and let me know if there's anything you'd like me to follow up on this. In the next episode, we're going to talk about a very critical and often neglected topic, which is how to exit like a pro. I'll see you next time.